The fundamental impulse of the second Trump administration is not so much conservative as it is quasi-authoritarian.
There's free speech, and then there's hate speech.
You probably go after people like you because you treat me so unfairly. It's hate. You have a lot of hate in your heart.
I have a CNN segment lined up for us covering Donald Trump's calls to attack free speech, the media, those who burn the flag, showing his intentions to full-on destroy the First Amendment and our freedoms in this country. Party of free speech, by the way. So if you can, take a moment, strap in, leave us a like on the video, gives us a boost in the algorithm. It's free. It only takes a second. So hit that like button and let's get right to it.
Attorney General Pam Bondi is facing some criticism over her recent comments about hate speech. Here's what she said on the Katie Miller podcast yesterday.
There's free speech, and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society. We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle.
While hate speech can be offensive, it is generally protected by the First Amendment, and a number of conservatives were quick to call Bondi out on that.
Yeah, today the Attorney General seemed to clarify her remarks, writing, quote, hate speech that crosses the line into threats of violence is not protected by the First Amendment. This morning, President Trump was asked about Bondi's remarks. Listen to this.
What do you make Pam Bondi saying she's going to go after hate speech? Is that, I mean, a lot of your allies say hate speech is free speech.
You probably go after people like you because you treat me so unfairly. It's hate. You have a lot of hate in your heart.
I mean, here is Trump again, point blank period, threatening media for asking him an innocent, honest, easy question, telling them that he will come after them. That's nefarious. Something he's already done, by the way, with multiple lawsuits. I mean, this is entirely what fascism is. These are the same people who told us for 4 years that hate speech isn't even real when we politely asked them, like, hey, don't say the N-word maybe, and that they're, oh, well, free speech absolutists. That's why we're defending this, not because we're racist. It turns out that their actual principle is, well, give me freedom when you have power, and then I'll take your freedoms when I have power. I hate Trump for many things, but one thing I think he's undoubtedly good at is getting MAGA to expose how hypocritical they are on an almost daily basis.
The fundamental impulse of the second Trump administration is not so much conservative as it is quasi-authoritarian. I mean, it's not really about taking ownership positions in companies, censoring speech. These are not positions that conservatives have traditionally espoused, but it is consistent with a view of accumulating as much power in the executive over all elements of society and weakening the ability of those opposed to him to resist him. So I actually think her first impulse, as is all, people describe a gaffe in Washington is when you say what you really mean. I think that her first answer was actually more reflective of kind of the underlying compass of this administration.
I would love to know where all the what rights is Trump threatening clowns at from the campaign who said that incessantly, because like, what rights has he not been threatening now, you fucking dumbasses? He's expanding the power of the executive, specifically the president. In doing so, he's attacking fundamental constitutional rights. He's attacking the co-equal branches of government, the structure of government that keeps it working for the people and not for him. And he's attacking all judges that won't comply with his will, now expanding that to media, to institutions, to his political enemies with investigations. I love how Biden did literally none of this, but was this crazy authoritarian fascist who was targeting his political enemies and driving us to a banana republic, if you ask MAGA. Meanwhile, Trump is doing legitimately all 14 tenets of fascism, and MAGA is like, you guys better stop using that word, it's mean.
The president filed a $15 billion defamation lawsuit against the New York Times last night. This morning, you heard what he said to Jonathan Karl of ABC News, saying maybe they'll go after you in response to this question about Bondi's assertion on hate speech. What do you think?
I think that often the president takes things very personally. And therefore, if you've crossed him, if you say something negative about him, he gets very angry and in your face about that. I do agree that if this is actually going to be followed up on principle, then conservatives ought to call the president and the administration out on that. I think there are a lot of things that this administration's doing that conservatives support, but obviously it's a violation of longtime principle if you're going to go after your political opponents.
And this is normal for MAGA, right? Like, we've discussed how literally every accusation is a confession from these clowns. So when they're saying, oh, the left does this, oh, the left does that, it's always because they're about to begin doing it themselves or have already set up the process to be doing it and want to use that as a justification to then be like, well, we had to do this because the left was doing it. We had to gerrymander because the left was doing it, when it's never been true. The right does the most political violence. They do the most gerrymandering. They have worse political rhetoric. They attack rights and freedoms more. They're worse in the economy. They target their political enemies more. Like, to say the left is who does any of this more is the clearest admission you either have no idea what you're talking about or you have little concern with learning it and you're just acting in bad faith.